A police bulletin reports a 208 is in progress in the C13 area of Newport City. A figure studies a nightscope green image of men talking about programming bugs and Project 2501. A voice reports Section 6 is ready to move in. Major Motoko Kusanagi disconnects wires from the back of her neck and stands up, takes off her overcoat. She does a back layout fall from the top of a tall building. A group of armed and helmeted police enter a building. Inside a room, 4 men are surprised that the police have arrived and 2 draw their weapons and go to the door to start firing. The older man of the group tells the others to stop shooting, and as the police storm the room, he claims diplomatic immunity. Nakamura, the head of Section 6, enters to say that taking a programmer out of the country is an offense. However, the young programmer has signed a request for asylum. Suddenly, a voice speaks out and assaults the foreigner. An invisible attacker rips the man apart. The police fire at the windows. Nakamura goes to a smashed window to see Major Kusanagi falling and becoming invisible as her thermoptic camouflage turns on again. Title sequence begins showing a cyborg female body undergoing a genesis. Major Kusanagi ascends from a pool of liquid. She awakens from sleep in a dark room, looks pensively out the window, then gets dressed in a combat suit and leaves her apartment. A VTOL twin rotorcraft lands on the roof of a tall building. The Japanese foreign minister leaves the aircraft and begins talking to the waiting Aramaki, the head of Section 9. They discuss a secret meeting with the Gavel Republic planned for the next day. Gavel has a new revolutionary government, and the leader of the old ruling junta is seeking asylum in Japan. The foreign minister admits he'd like to deport Colonel Malice if he had a good political excuse. He also thanks Section 9 for helping with the programmer defection, as this way the diplomatic corps was able to keep their hands clean. In a lab, a group of red-suited techs and Major Kusanagi are studying an unconscious woman, trying to access her brain. She is the foreign minister's interpreter and has been cyber-brain hacked since 23 minutes earlier while on the phone. Aramaki suggests someone called the Puppet Master is trying to disrupt the talks with Gavel by turning her into an assassin. Batu and Ishikawa are in a car tracing the signal. The Major goes to rendezvous with them. In their van, the Major dresses in armor as Togusa drives. They discuss the Puppet Master. He is believed to be an American, but nothing else is known about him. He has been active around the world conducting cyber terrorism and ghost hacking people's brains. This is the first time he has appeared in Japan. They consider it may all be disinformation. Then the Major chides Togusa for still using an old-style handgun as she loads and locks a large automatic rifle. Togusa is curious on why he was recruited into Section 9. The Major replies it is because he is still mainly human, and so can be an unpredictable, non-specialized asset on the team. On an inner-city street, 2 garbage collectors are at work. One urges the other to hurry up as the partner is busy at a public access computer terminal. The computer user explains a guy in a bar gave him some software so he could ghost hack his estranged wife. As they drive off, Batu and Ishikawa arrive in a hurry and realize they just missed their target yet again. They talk to a local and begin to suspect the garbage man. Kusanagi plugs into the net, and with Section 9 HQ quickly determines the trash route coincides with hacking locations. She takes over driving the van and issues orders to Batu and Ishikawa. The garbage men are alerted, the police are investigating, and the hacker husband decides to go to his programmer friend. Togusa and the Major get close. The vehicles arrive together near a man wearing sunglasses at another net station. He fires a submachine gun and takes out the Section 9 van. The Major and Togusa scramble out of the wreck as the shooter continues to riddle the van with armor-piercing shells. Batu arrives on the scene and the shooter cloaks himself with thermoptic camouflage and tries to escape. Batu notices the blurry camo and fires back. The Major goes to the rooftops to scan. The man enters a crowded street market area. A wild gunfight continues as Batu gives chase. The Major tries also, but the man seems to escape and stands in a shallow waterfront. An invisible Major Kusanagi proceeds to kick the man senseless. On questioning Batu and the Major realize the man was also a hacked puppet. Outside a large estate house, Aramaki and Section 9 prepare to assault. A helicopter lands on the lawn and a man they believe to be the Puppet Master disembarks. Further questioning of the garbage man reveals he has been hacked also and given false family memories. Major Kusanagi floats from the depths of the harbor. Batu greets her on board a boat and asks why she dies. They drink beer and reflect on being high-maintenance super cyborgs. The Major speaks briefly in a different voice. In a grimy cityscape, the Major rides a water ferry and gazes at the city around her. A sad-eyed beagle stares back. On a roadway at night, a blonde woman is hit by a car. In the Section 9 lab, she is a cyborg wired up and is electroshocked. She had been built 2 hours earlier at Megatech and escaped. The body has no organic brain but does have semblance of a ghost. The Major decides to dive into the brain to investigate and pauses to reflect on her own existence. Nakamura from Section 6 Treaty Section of the MFA arrives with an associate. Nakamura shows a card signed by the foreign minister and demands the cyborg body. In the parking garage, Togusta is suspicious and checks the video of the Section 6 arrival. He reports the men may have come in with thermoptic camouflaged cyborgs. In the lab, Aramaki and Nakamura view the partially dissembled torso of the mystery cyborg. The other Section 6 man, Dr. Willis, starts keyboarding and confirms that the cyborg is the puppet master. Section 6 has also been chasing him, and they lured him into the cyborg body. The torso comes alive and states its name is Project 2501, a self-aware computer program, and requests political asylum. The camouflaged Section 6 cyborgs attack and grab the torso. Before driving away, Togusa manages to hit the car with a tracking device bullet. Aramaki authorizes Section 9 to retake Project 2501, but to destroy it if they can't recover it. Meanwhile, Ishikawa reports on his investigation. Dr. Willis and the defecting programmer from earlier developed Project 2501 for Japanese Foreign Ministry diplomatic dirty tricks, but somehow they lost control of it. Section 6 is trying to cover it all up. Out in the city, Beitu realizes there is a decoy car. The car is split up. The one Beitu is chasing hits a roadblock and the 2 men inside are killed by sniper fire. Kusanagi in a helicopter overlooks the other car. She rappels down with her war bag, then realizes the car is protected by a large cloaked walking tank. The Major loads up with heavy ammo as Beitu rushes to help. After a hot and heavy firefight, the Major gets on top of the tank and tries to lift the hatch. Her arms tear off and the tank grapples her head and shakes her like a doll. Beitu arrives with an anti-tank weapon and takes out the armored vehicle. He takes the Project 2501 torso from the car and places it beside the wounded Motoko. In the skies above, 2 Section 6 helos observe and prepare. Beitu wires up the Major to the torso. Project 2501 speaks through the Major and explains himself. He states he learned of Section 9 on the net and planned this joining up. Project 2501 wants to experience real life and death and proposes a merger with the Major. Beitu is unable to disconnect the wires as the Section 6 targeting lasers rove over the female bodies. Section 6 is hacked to give the merger more time. As the Major sees the light, the blonde torso is destroyed with a headshot. Beitu manages to partially cover the Major's face with his arm as another Section 6 shot seems to destroy Kusanagi. In an apartment, a young girl with blank eyes sits in an armchair. The girl stirs and is greeted by Beitu. It is Kusanagi and the only body Beitu could find. 20 hours have passed since the shooting. The foreign minister has resigned, but the incident will be covered up. The girl gets up to leave and tells Beitu she is neither the puppet master nor Major Kusanagi, rather a new being. The newborn states the net is vast and infinite as she leaves the safe house.